What's up, big ass family? We get a bunch of questions about the 4-step and the 5-step big ass steps, and which ones should I use, and what's the best for me, and are they going to work for me, and how can I make them work? And we thought we'd do a video to just try and explain a little bit of the differences and how to measure and get the right fit. So the 4-step, of course, has 4 steps. The 5-step, of course, has 5 steps. So the 5-step unit goes higher. That's primarily the difference between the two. The 5-step unit is just a touch wider, but the only reason you'd select one versus the other is just because of the height you're trying to go to. So what you'd want to do is you want to grab your tape measure and figure out where these steps going to sit and measure from the ground to approximately where they're going to rest. So in this situation, we're going to have them rest right on our bumper so that the dog can walk up and go right in. And so here we can see this is it's actually only about 27 inches. So that's well within the range of the 4-step. The 4-step can easily rest at 30 inches and can go up to 32 inches comfortably without being uneven. Once you start getting a little bit higher than that, the 4-step, even though it could go a little bit higher, it starts to get too steep. And so the steps become shallow. And I'll show you what I mean here. So this one's a 4-step. So you stretch it out. You want to make sure that the straps are behind it so that they're not encumbered or creating any problems getting the step frame all the way stretched out. And here, boom, sets right up. You see, nice and stable, rests well. And if you look at it, you can see it's slightly ramped down. It's slightly angled down because at 30 inches, that's really where it would sit in its perfect plane. But it can easily handle going a little bit lower, not a problem. And you can watch videos on our YouTube channel of our dogs going up it and a million other dogs going up it perfectly fine this way. And this is about 30 inches here. And I'll show you what it would look like going up to 32. So 30, that's about perfect. 32, it could sit there and you can see at the ground, the frame's still pretty much touching all evenly on the ground. So perfectly safe. If I wanted to go higher than that, you can see the frame starts lifting off the ground. It starts putting too much pressure on it. So as you get to 34 or 35 inches, that's where you want to switch over to the 5-step. So let's go ahead and grab a 5-stepper. And these are coveted right now, these 5-steppers. This is like gold I got in my hands here. So 5-stepper, you see, extend it out. And you can really see the height difference and how much higher this gets to. So again, that gets up to about 36 inches even comfortably. Get my tape measure here. And I'll do it on this side. So 36 inches, you can see that's where it's sitting pretty parallel with the ground. 38 inches, it can go up to 38 inches, and that's actually pretty safe. The frame resting well on the ground. Now, you could go a little bit higher, but I really wouldn't recommend it. 38 inches is really kind of the top of where I'd like to recommend it. Now, here's one of the key things. The steps are very adjustable, and you can actually extend this out to try and work with a lower situation, right? So now I've got the 5-stepper stretched out, and it looks like it would work well for this 30-inch height. We don't recommend that. Here's what happens. You're now at a point where the frame is almost a little overextended, and it will actually try and flatten out into a flat ramp as the dog goes up the steps. That's a scary situation. So you really want to pick the right size step for the right size application.